Noel. Noel, 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 Noel. Born is the King of Israel.
And Lester. Good morning. Well, I was away a couple days last week. I went back to North Carolina, had a few days off, and got to play with my grandchildren and see the oldest one in the school program for the holidays. It was called Holidays Around the World. They're in a language school, so it was wonderful to see. And I'm glad to be back. Got away, got some rest, and I'm glad to be back. Thank you. All right, let's see. So we're playing around with PowerPoint. I'm playing today, and to see how it works and to incorporate it in our service. And there's a benefit for our people online, virtually, as well as you here. So, and it'll get expanded. Right now, it's just around my talk. All right. So you'll see me reach over here and do a few things. How many of you know about the Advent calendar? Okay, a few. It's a very special calendar used to count down to December 25th, which is the celebration of Jesus' birth. The Advent calendar tradition supposedly dates all the way back to the 1850s. Some Advent calendars are simple. When you open up the little doors or the boxes, they reveal a picture like the nativity scene. And some have chocolate, and some are even more expensive and include a toy or a gift. Now, the calendar I use is the Joke-a-Day Advent calendar. So, the joke for today is, why is it harder to buy Advent calendars? Why is it harder to buy Advent calendars? Okay, we got a not in season. Not a yearly calendar. Okay, why is it harder to buy Advent calendars? Their days are numbered. All right. Today is the fourth and final Sunday of Advent. The last day of the Advent season is December 24th, which is next Friday. And we're going to have a joint candle lighting service with Unity of Cordova. Now, for the sake of those that are here for the first time, whether you're virtual or in person, just to recap about Advent, it's a Catholic tradition that Christians adopted in the Middle Ages between the 14 and 1500 Common Era. The season has 4 Sundays. Each Sunday focuses on an attribute we aspire to be and express individually, as a spiritual community, and as the world. There are several symbols. We have our Advent candle set up there. Advent means the coming and refers to the upcoming birth of Christ, the light of the world. The holiday season is a time of light, not only around us, in our lives and within us. So during Advent, we celebrate the light. Here at Unity, it is the light within us that shines with different attributes, such as hope and faith, peace, love, and joy. Each candle on our Advent, you can see it up here or up there or down there, represents light and one of those 5 attributes. The wreath itself, which is made of various evergreens, signifies continuous life. Evergreen trees live anywhere from 200 to 800 years. And the circle of the wreath has no beginning or ending, and so it symbolizes the eternity of God, the immortality of our souls, and the everlasting life of the Christ within each of us. So today our focus is on the light of joy. I have not heard from my friend Lily. She was a colleague and my classmate in Unity School, and I've told you about her before. She was in the process of dying. Lily, I haven't heard from her for several weeks now. One of her daughters called me a couple weeks ago and did tell me that Lily had moved from the hospice at the VA center to her home so that she could die with her family around her. One of Lily's, she hasn't died yet, so I haven't heard, so she's still with us. One of Lily's favorite pictures was the laughing Jesus picture. It is, isn't it? Lily talked also about if there was a 13th power, for her, it would be the power of humor. This original picture was drawn by an artist named Willis Wheatley in 1973, and he drew it for the United Church of Canada. It was originally titled Christ the Liberator, but has widely come to be known as the Laughing Jesus. Now, prior to this drawing, all pictures of Jesus showed him as somber, sorrowful, and a serious guy who probably never laughed. Now, prior to seeing this picture, did you ever think of Jesus as a fun person? Oh, okay. Good for you. Consider, if not, consider these spiritually based activities about Jesus. He went to a wedding where he ended up making more wine when it ran out. Now, weddings are happy, joyous occasions. You can't imagine him there being sorrowful and somber and serious. Especially when he saved the day by making more wine. And then he probably had some wine himself. Okay. Let's see. He told stories and gave absurd lessons like a camel through the eye of a needle. Just think how absurd that is. And that comes out of Matthew 19:24. He cared greatly about children and wanted them to be around him. Now, many of you have children and grandchildren, young or old. How can you be serious and somber if you've got children running around and playing and getting into things and not doing what you said? And then finally, he had charisma. People were attracted to him. They came in hundreds, thousands to be near him. Now, have you ever been around someone who was charismatic? They're not serious or dull. No, they're full of energy and life and just joy bubbling out and over, all over, and spilling over everyone that comes near them. Our spiritual journey to intensify our Christ light, the awareness that we are divine and one with our source does not have to be somber, sorrowful, and serious. And even during our life experiences that may cause us to feel somber, sorrowful, and serious, we can still choose to find our joy. I quote Richard and Mary Alice Hofola in The Quest. Joy is not something you take in from without, but something you let out from within you. Events merely give us an excuse to feel it. We carry our joy with us all the time, no matter what's happening in our lives. Okay. That is because it's within us. One event or activity that can let our joy out from within us is laughter. Well, thank you for that little giggle. Letting our joy out through laughter is actually good for our health. Okay? Laughter relaxes the whole body. It boosts the immune system. Now hear that, I'll repeat that again. It boosts our immune system. It decreases stress, hormones, and increases immune cells and infectious fighting antibodies, thus improving our resistance to disease. It triggers the release of endorphins. That's the feel-good chemicals in our bodies. It protects the heart. It improves the function of blood vessels and increases blood flow. And it burns calories. So, now, it doesn't replace going to the gym. But a study found that laughter for 10 to 15 minutes a day can burn approximately 40 calories, which could be enough to lose 3 to 4 pounds over the course of a year. Now, are you convinced that laughter is good for your health? Would you like to join me in a few laughter exercises? Okay, please keep your mask up. And let's see if we can let more joy out. Now, there's laughter counting. Now I'll explain. Ha is an example of laughter. So laughter counting, you start out with one ha, and then you go, take a break, and you go 2 ha.